Attention, faithful. What you are about to discover now will completely shake everything you thought you knew about Pope Benedict XVI's resignation. A secret letter was revealed only months after his death, and what is written in it will shock the Christian world. The Pope Emeritus kept the true reason for his resignation a secret for 8 years, and only revealed the complete truth in his final days. My brothers and sisters in Christ, on October 28, 2022, just 2 months before his death, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI wrote a letter to his official biographer, Peter Seewald, that changed everything we knew about his resignation. This letter remained completely secret until January 2023, when the German magazine Focus revealed it to the world, and you won't believe what the Holy Father revealed after 8 years of silence. Why did he keep this a secret for so long? What really happened behind the scenes at the Vatican? The answer will transform your understanding of this great pope. In the next 27 minutes, using exclusively official sources and authentic documents, I will reveal to you the true reason for the resignation, the silent suffering that Benedict XVI endured for 8 years, how this profoundly impacted the Catholic Church, and the powerful spiritual lesson we can learn. But first, if you want to know the truth about our beloved Pope Emeritus, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell, because what you will discover today will mark your lives forever. Brothers, imagine the scene. It's October 2022. Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, then 95 years old, knows his days are numbered. In the silence of his Vatican monastery, he picks up paper and a pen to write a letter that would change everything. This letter was addressed to Peter Seewald, his official German biographer, the man who had written the books Light of the World and Last Conversations with the Pope. But why now? Why reveal this only in his final days? Because, my dear faithful, Benedict XVI carried a secret that tormented him for 8 long years. In the letter dated October 28, 2022, he finally confesses, "It was the insomnia that accompanied me uninterruptedly since World Youth Day in Cologne." Can you imagine? Since 2005, his first World Youth Day as Pope, Benedict XVI suffered from chronic insomnia. For 8 years as Pope, he couldn't sleep properly. And look at this touching detail he reveals. The difficulty sleeping prevented him from participating in night events and important church commitments. A pope who couldn't sleep, what silent suffering! But why did Benedict XVI hide this from the world for so long? The answer will deeply touch your hearts. According to scholars who analyzed the letter, the Pope Emeritus did not want to cause scandal about the circumstances of his resignation. He preferred that the world believe it was just a matter of advanced age. Remember, on February 11, 2013, in his official declaration at the consistory, Benedict XVI only said, "After having repeatedly examined my conscience before God, I have come to the certainty that my strengths, due to advanced age, are no longer suitable to adequately exercise the Petrine ministry." But now we know the complete truth. Insomnia was not just a detail, it was the central reason, in the Pope's own words. Imagine, night after night without sleep, trying to fulfill the most important responsibilities in Christianity. And look at this moving detail. The letter reveals that he feared not being able to participate adequately in World Youth Day in Rio de Janeiro in 2013. For the love of Catholic youth, he resigned so that his successor could be present. Brothers, do you perceive the spiritual greatness of this act? Benedict XVI demonstrated a heroic humility that few understood at the time. First, he put the good of the Church above his own pride. How many of us would have the courage to admit our limitations in leadership positions? In our families, jobs, communities, we can learn from Benedict XVI the humility to recognize when we need help or when it's time to pass the torch to others. Second, he endured the suffering in silence for years without complaining publicly. What an example of Christian strength! As he himself wrote in his works, the papal ministry must be fulfilled not only with works and with words, but also and equally by suffering and praying. Third, even in his suffering he thought of others, the concern for World Youth Day in Rio, for the youth, for his successor. That is true pastoral love. When we face our own insomnias, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, we can follow Benedict XVI's example. Seek God's will, act with humility, and always think of the good of others. My brothers, the revelation of this letter also shows us how God writes straight with crooked lines. Benedict XVI's resignation, motivated by his silent suffering, paved the way for Pope Francis's pontificate, and look at the providence. Benedict XVI resigned precisely so that his successor could be present at World Youth Day in Rio, an event that became a landmark of the Franciscan pontificate. God was already preparing the future of the Church. The Pope Emeritus remained in the Vatican, dedicating himself to prayer and theological reflection until his last days. As he himself said when taking the title of Pope Emeritus, he would continue to serve the Church through contemplative prayer. The secret letter shows us that great saints also go through great suffering. Benedict XVI was not just a brilliant theologian, he was a man who suffered, who had limitations, but who transformed his suffering into service to the Church. Dear brothers, today we discovered the complete truth about Benedict XVI's secret document, a letter that he kept for months, revealing only at the end of his earthly life. Chronic insomnia was the central reason for the resignation, not just age. He suffered in silence for 8 years to not cause a scandal in the Church. His concern for the youth and World Youth Day motivated his final decision. This letter, published by the German magazine Focus in January 2023, proves that our beloved Pope Emeritus was a true shepherd until the end, always thinking of the flock, never of himself. If this revelation has deeply touched your heart, share this video with other faithful. It is our duty to honor Benedict XVI's memory by spreading the truth about his life and resignation. Leave a like to strengthen our channel dedicated to the authentic teachings of the Pope Emeritus. And in the comments, I want to know what impressed you the most about this revelation. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next videos about unpublished documents and letters from the great saints of the Church. May the example of humility and silent suffering of Benedict XVI inspire our lives. May we, like him, transform our limitations into service to God and our brothers. Until the next video, may you be with God, and remember the last public words of our Holy Pope Emeritus. There is only one thing I ask of the Lord, that there may always be sun in my soul.